Hi everyone. Welcome to Blue Mile Wave Studio. Today, I will explain Vietnam's hidden treasures, sapphire and garnet mining revealed. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Hidden in the heart of Southeast Asia lies a land shaped by ancient volcanoes, lush highlands, and rivers rich in mineral secrets. Vietnam, a country not only steeped in culture and history, but also a growing hotspot for vibrant sapphires and fiery garnets. In today's journey, we travel deep into Vietnam's gem-rich provinces, exploring how sapphires and garnets are mined, processed, and transformed from raw earth to radiant jewels. Vietnam, a narrow strip of land stretching along the eastern edge of the Indo-Chinese peninsula, holds more than just breathtaking scenery and ancient traditions. Beneath its rugged terrain lies a lesser-known wealth, a colorful world of gemstones quietly mined for generations. Our journey begins in the northern province of Yen Bai, in a district called Luc Yen. Tucked into the base of the Hoang Lien Sun mountain range, this area is renowned as the beating heart of Vietnam's colored gemstone industry. Here, dazzling sapphires, rubies, and spinels have been mined from ancient marble and dolomite-rich rock since the 1980s. Luc Yen's sapphires are typically found in alluvial deposits, released from weathered host rocks and washed into nearby valleys and riverbeds. Families mine these gravels using simple tools, relying on experience and intuition passed down through generations. Next, we head south to Ninh Province, home to the Quy Chau district. Here, another sapphire-bearing belt cuts across the land, once part of a volcanic system that left behind fertile soils and hidden veins of gem-quality corundum. Unlike the mountainous north, Quy Chau's sapphires are primarily mined from alluvial flats and dry riverbeds. The stones here tend to be more varied in color, ranging from pale blue and green to bright yellow. Though mining here is less publicized, the region remains vital to Vietnam's gem economy. Finally, in the central highlands, we arrive in Dak Nông province, a region rich in volcanic soils and mineral diversity. While known more recently, Dak Nông is quickly making a name for itself as a reliable source of garnets, especially the deep red variety of almandine. The garnets here are buried in metamorphic rock and laterite soils, accessible by small-scale machinery or hand excavation. Their rich, earthy tones and strong crystal structure make them ideal not only for jewelry, but also for industrial abrasives. Across these regions, from lush northern valleys to highland red soils, the hunt for gemstones remains a delicate balance of tradition, perseverance, and the earth's natural wonder. Each location tells a unique story, and each stone, a buried chapter waiting to be uncovered. In the quiet light of dawn, a small team of miners prepares for another long day. Here in Luc Yen, sapphire mining doesn't begin with the rumble of heavy machines, it begins with footsteps on damp soil, and tools that haven't changed for decades. The majority of Vietnam's sapphires are recovered through artisanal, small-scale mining, a labor-intensive practice that relies on human endurance and patience. Miners often dig by hand into loose, gravel-rich soils, typically following dry stream beds, gullies, or ancient river terraces. Before breaking ground, experienced miners search for signs, subtle shifts in soil texture or the way a stick sinks into the earth. If they are lucky, they'll strike a layer of gem-bearing gravel, known locally as saye with acute curie. Once the gravel is unearthed, it's time to wash. The miners use homemade sluice boxes, wooden troughs lined with slats, to separate heavier stones from silt and sand. Water from nearby streams flows over the gravel, flushing away the lighter material. In these moments, the earth reveals its secrets. As the water settles, tiny flashes of blue, green, or yellow may signal the presence of sapphire. These gems are composed of corundum, a mineral second only to diamond in hardness. Most of the recovered stones are small, just a few millimeters across, but every so often, a large crystal emerges, perfect in shape, color, and clarity. These moments of discovery are rare and deeply treasured. Further south in Quy Chau, sapphire recovery follows a similar pattern, though here, the gems are often found in more compact gravels, sometimes hidden beneath meters of clay and sand. Much of the work is cooperative, carried out by families or neighbors who split the profits. Panning for sapphires requires a keen eye, as uncut gems are often mistaken for glassy pebbles. Sapphire rough is deceptively ordinary. To the untrained eye, it may look like a dull stone. But under the right light, its true potential is revealed, a rich, internal glow that hints at what it could become. The work is relentless. Under the hot sun or during monsoon rains, these miners persist. Many earn just enough to support their families. For them, each sapphire is more than a gem, it's a day's wage, a child's school fees, a step towards stability. At the end of the day, the recovered stones are washed, sorted by color and size, and sometimes sold on the very same night, right in the village or to gem traders who travel from Hanoi, Ho Chi Minh City, or abroad. This is how sapphires are mined in Vietnam, not with explosives or billion-dollar machinery, but with hands in the dirt, hope in every shovel, and a profound connection to the land beneath. Once the mining is done, the next step begins, a process just as critical as extraction, sorting and grading. This is where rough gemstones are assessed for their true value, piece by piece. In mining villages like Luc Yen, the first stage of sorting is often done at home, right on the miner's table. Family members sit together, examining each stone under natural light. They sort by color, size, and clarity, the core pillars of gemstone grading. Color is king. In Vietnam, royal blue sapphires command the highest price, followed by deep greens and pastel pinks. Stones with uneven hues or cloudiness are separated for industrial or lower-grade use. More precise grading happens in the hands of experienced gem dealers and middlemen. Using loupes and daylight-equivalent lamps, they look deeper, evaluating the stone's transparency, inclusions, and potential for faceting. Clarity is a major factor. While inclusions are natural, stones with clean interiors and few imperfections fetch premium prices, especially if they are large enough to cut into facete gems. In the Central Highlands, Spinels, garnets are sorted in bulk. Almandine garnets are typically opaque with deep reddish-brown tones. Here, size and uniformity matter more than brilliance, especially for garnets destined for industrial use. After sorting and grading, the stones are weighed and logged. A single gram can hold the value of days of labor, and a single flawless stone can change a miner's fortune overnight. From quiet homes to crowded gem markets, this is the hidden economy behind Vietnam's gemstone trade. A delicate dance of trust, knowledge, and instinct, where every sparkle is a question, rough or radiant. Treasure or tool. Only the best of these stones will move on, to cutting, polishing, and eventually, to becoming part of something far greater than themselves. A miner's hand opens, and out spills a handful of nature's hidden treasures, rough gemstones in their rawest form. Each one tells a silent story, shaped by millions of years underground. There are inky sapphires, their deep blue skins hiding flashes of brilliance just beneath the surface, fiery red spinels, catching the sun with a glassy gleam, and rosy garnets, dense and dark until the light finds their heart. No two stones are alike. Some are smooth, others jagged. Some are dull at first glance, but all of them carry the potential to shine. This moment, as they tumble onto the cloth, is where the journey begins, from earth to elegance. Up close, rough sapphires are a world unto themselves, unpolished and imperfect, yet undeniably captivating. Some are deep, inky blue, like still water under moonlight. Others shimmer with hints of forest green or glints of sunlit yellow, their colors trapped just beneath the surface. Many are opaque, veiled in a milky skin of natural stone, while a few reveal translucent windows, teasing the brilliance hidden inside. These stones haven't been touched by a cutter's wheel. What you see is exactly as the earth gave it, raw, rugged, and full of potential. Each rough sapphire holds a mystery. Where is the light? Where is the color richest? And what shape will it finally take when freed from its rocky shell? A tray of rough spinels, uncut, unshaped, yet already glowing with a quiet brilliance. Unlike many other gemstones, spinels can emerge from the earth with a natural transparency and luster that hints at the fire within. Their colors range from deep, blood red, to soft bubblegum pink, to rare shades of lavender and cobalt blue, hues once mistaken for rubies throughout history. Each piece is irregular, almost chaotic in shape, sharp edges, fractured planes, tiny pockets of trapped minerals, yet they shine as though already halfway to polish. These stones need little help to be beautiful. They are the quiet rebels of the gem world, formed under intense pressure, but rarely needing perfection to stand out. To the trained eye, A rough spinel is more than just a stone, it's a window into a hidden fire, waiting to be revealed with just the right cut. At first glance they look like chunks of shadow, garnets cloaked in earthy browns and iron-black skins. But watch them tilt in the light and a hidden glow stirs, like coals awakening in a fire pit. These crystals are dense, almandine garnets born in the furnace of metamorphic rock. Their surfaces are pitted and rough, edges still razor-sharp from the moment the earth cracked them free. Peer closer and you'll see narrow windows where the outer husk thins. Through these slivers, a wine-red heart pulses, rich, velvety, and ancient. Unlike flashy diamonds or glittering quartz, garnet beauty is subdued at first sight, demanding patience. It is a gem that asks to be turned, studied, courted by sunlight before it reveals its secret blaze. Hold one to the sky and the darkness parts, crimson rays burst through, proof that even the most unassuming stones can harbor molten brilliance within. Lighting reveals what the earth tried to keep hidden. Under the soft warmth of morning sun, a sapphire flickers from deep midnight blue to flashes of cornflower and teal, as if the sky itself were trapped inside. Move it under cool lead light, and the color sharpens, edges become crisper, the hue more vivid, the depth more dramatic. Spinels respond differently, their surfaces catch the light like glass, shimmering with a soft glow that seems to dance just beneath the surface. In some, you see a sudden burst of hot pink or magenta, like the color is trying to escape. And then, the garnet. What once looked black now burns with red, but only if you look just right. Tilt it a few degrees, and it flashes like embers stirred in a hearth, with a glow that comes from deep within its dense crystal heart. Each gemstone holds its own secret, a color that isn't always on the surface, but revealed only by motion, by angle, and by light. This is the magic of rough stones, they don't demand attention, they earn it. Side by side, the raw and the refined. What begins as a rugged, unassuming stone, chipped, dull, and covered in earthy skin, transforms into a gem that captures light and commands attention. The sapphire, once a cloudy, blue-gray crystal, now glows with clarity and depth, every facet carved to draw in light and bounce it back in flashes of royal blue. The spinel, once jagged and glassy, now sings with hot pink fire, its luster sharpened, its shape perfected. And the garnet, spinel, and sapphire once buried in darkness, now radiates with a deep crimson heart, a glow no longer hidden, but proudly revealed. Each polished gem is a triumph of both nature and human skill, the final result of careful hands, trained eyes, and a deep respect for what lies within. This is more than just cutting a stone, it's unlocking its true identity, the brilliance it was always meant to show the world. Once sorted and graded, only a select few stones are chosen for the next stage, cutting and polishing. It is here, in these humble workshops, that raw potential meets human precision. The process begins with a single decision, how to cut the stone to bring out its color, clarity, and sparkle. In Vietnam, this decision is often made by hand and eye, not by computer models or software. A rough sapphire, spinel, or garnet might be trimmed, split, or left whole, depending on its internal structure. Any crack, inclusion, or color zoning inside the stone must be accounted for, because one wrong cut could ruin it forever. Once the stone is mounted on a dop stick, it is carefully aligned to a rotating lap, a flat will coat it with diamond grit. This is where the first facets are carved, tiny geometric planes that catch and reflect light. Each facet must be cut at a precise angle and depth, often down to a fraction of a degree. In Luc Yen and Kui Chao, these skills are passed down from one generation to the next, the result of decades of practice, not formal training. As the stone takes shape, the cutter must constantly judge its symmetry, balance, and brilliance. Will it become an oval? A cushion cut? A classic round? Every choice affects how the gem plays with light. After faceting comes polishing, the final, delicate step that unlocks the gemstones in a fire. Using finer abrasives like cerium oxide or aluminum oxide, each facet is polished to a mirror finish. It's a moment of transformation. What was once a cloudy pebble from the earth now gleams with life, a gemstone ready for setting, for selling, or for sparking wonder in a jeweler's hands. The difference is night and day. But it's more than just shine, it's the soul of the stone, revealed by careful hands and years of wisdom. For garnets and spinels, especially those used in jewelry, simpler cuts are often used, cabochons, beads, or rose cuts. In some cases, they are tumbled in machines, polishing dozens at a time until their surfaces glow with deep red luster. Each polished stone is now ready to continue its journey to local markets, international buyers, or high-end jewelry designers across the globe. Cutting and polishing may seem like the end of the process, but in truth, it is only the beginning of a gem's second life, a life of beauty, value, and meaning, far beyond the soil it once called home. Dawn breaks over Luc Yen, and the quiet mountain town begins to stir. Morning mist drapes the hills like a veil, while narrow streets slowly fill with life. Street vendors emerge one by one, rolling carts and unfolding tarps, arranging weathered tables with practiced ease. Crates are opened. Scales are balanced. Well-worn cloths are spread, ready to cradle the day's treasures. The hum of scooters cuts through the stillness, joined by the soft murmur of greetings and the clink of metal trays. This is not just any market day, it's a gemstone day, and everyone knows it. Miners arrive with pouches tucked close to their chests. Traders unpack magnifiers and loupes. And as the first rays of sunlight break through the haze, their golden light dances off the edges of stones still hidden from view. In Luc Yen, the marketplace doesn't just open, it awakens. It breathes, it buzzes, it builds, ready for deals, stories, and the quiet thrill of discovery. In the heart of the Luc Yen market, business is personal. Locals arrive with small pouches tucked securely into pockets, or gem boxes wrapped in cloth, passed down through generations. Each bundle holds something precious, a pocket full of rough sapphires, a single blood-red spinel, or perhaps a garnet pulled from the riverbed just days before. They gather around folding tables beneath makeshift tarps, where seasoned buyers wait, loupe in one hand, cash in the other. No bright lights or glass counters here. Just a wooden plank, a beam of natural light, and a practiced eye. Whispers replace shouting. Every gesture matters, a raised brow, a subtle nod, a stone turned gently in the palm. Some negotiations last minutes. Others stretch for hours. This isn't just commerce, it's tradition. A shared language built on trust, instinct, and the quiet thrill of spotting a gem that others overlooked. In these modest stalls, millions of years of geology pass from one hand to another, for a price, for a promise, or sometimes, for the chance to strike gold in a stone. With practiced care, a miner opens his pouch, not just a bag, but the result of weeks, sometimes months, of backbreaking labor in the hills. He tips it slowly, allowing the sapphires to spill across the cloth like tiny fragments of sky, earth, and fire. Some are deep blue, others tinged with green or yellow. A few are still coated in dust, their true colors hidden just beneath the surface. Across the table, the buyer remains silent, eyes fixed, loupe ready. He reaches for one, not the brightest, but the heaviest. He lifts it toward the light and peers through his lens. In that moment, there is no crowd. No noise. Just the quiet calculation of clarity, color, and cut potential. He turns the stone. Rotates it again. A faint nod. Then he moves to the next, his fingers quick and confident. For the miner, every gesture matters. A buyer's pause could mean a higher price. A furrowed brow, a missed deal. Here, under an open sky, the value of a gem is decided not by machines or labs, but by human instinct, experience, and the glint of light through stone. In the gemstone stalls of Luc Yen, precision is everything. Dealers come prepared, not just with cash and experience, but with the tools of the trade. A pocket scale is set gently on the table, its surface leveled with a practiced hand. One by one, stones are weighed to the decimal, carats that could mean the difference between a fair price and a costly mistake. Calculators click softly as numbers fly, weight, clarity, market value, margin. Each tap reflects years of instinct, sharpened by deals made and lessons learned in markets like this one. Then comes the light. A portable daylight lamp is switched on, casting a neutral beam across the rough and polished stones. It mimics the purest sunlight, revealing not just color, but truth. In this light, a sapphire's blue is tested. A spinel's glow is judged. A garnet's fire either fades or comes alive. Around each table, tiny tools lead to big decisions. A nod here, A shake of the head there, deals made quietly, sometimes sealed with just a look. In this world, a gem's worth isn't just about beauty. It's about weight, light, and trust, measured not in minutes, but in millimeters. From above, the gem market moves like a living organism, fluid, complex, and surprisingly quiet. Dozens of transactions unfold at once, each with its own rhythm. A buyer leans in. A miner lays out stones. A third man watches from the side, saying nothing, waiting for his moment. There's no shouting here. No dramatic handshakes. Instead, the market speaks in a language of subtle gestures, a slow nod to indicate interest. A sideways glance to invite negotiation. A hand cupped over a pouch, a sign that the deal is nearly done. In one corner, a young dealer runs his thumb across a sapphire, tilting it toward the light. In another, a veteran trader weighs a garnet, his face unreadable. Each stall has its own energy, yet all move to the same silent rhythm, a choreography shaped by trust, tension, and time. Beneath the surface calm is a flurry of decisions, calculations, and risks, fortunes built or lost over the glint of a single stone. This is not just a market. It's a ritual, played out every morning in Luc Yen, where every nod matters, and every gem has a story waiting to be claimed. Not every deal at the market ends with fanfare, sometimes, it ends with quiet relief. A woman, still dusty from the mountain trails, counts her earnings, crisp and crumpled bills, the reward for a stone she unearthed, cleaned, and carried herself. She doesn't celebrate. She folds the money with care, the way one guards a week's worth of food, or a child's school fee. This isn't luxury. This is livelihood. Just a few steps away, her children play in the shade of market stalls, their laughter rising above the soft murmur of negotiations. They weave between traders, dodging tables, giggling freely, unaware of the quiet weight of the sale that just passed. In Luc Yen, gemstones don't just sparkle, they feed families, pay for textbooks, and patch leaking roofs. Every stone sold here tells two stories, one of ancient geology, and another of modern survival. For miners like her, it's not about profit, it's about possibility. In Luc Yen, the future of the gemstone trade begins quietly, not in classrooms, but at the table's edge. A teenager stands beside his mother, holding a flashlight steady as a buyer leans in to inspect the stone. He doesn't speak, but his eyes follow every motion, every glance, every nod. Here, learning is silent observation. A skill passed not through textbooks, but through gesture, patience, and repetition. He watches how the stone is angled, how the buyer's loop searches for inclusions, how pricing begins with a pause, not a number. Other youths move between the stalls, some helping carry trays, others crouching beside their elders, absorbing the unspoken rhythm of the market. In their gaze is respect, curiosity, and ambition, a quiet inheritance being shaped in real time. Because in Luc Yen, the next generation doesn't just inherit gemstones. They inherit wisdom and the deep-rooted knowledge that a single stone, properly found, properly judged, can change everything. This is how the trade survives. Not with noise, but with hands held steady, and eyes that never stop watching. Far from the mountain valleys of Luc Yen, we arrive in Quy Chau, a quieter, lesser-known corner of Vietnam's gem trail. Here, the rush of open-air markets gives way to humble storefronts, where families have run gem shops for generations. One such shop stands quietly along a dusty road, its window filled not with grandeur, but with pride. Inside, a simple glass case holds an array of polished garnets, spinels, rubies, and sapphires, deep reds that glow like embers, cool blues that catch the light with surprising fire. Each gem here tells a more personal story. Many were mined by the owner's own hands or bought directly from neighbors just a few kilometers away. There are no crowds, no frantic bargaining. Just a slow rhythm of trust and tradition, where visitors are welcomed with tea, and stones are shown one by one, each offered with quiet confidence. In Quy Chau, the gem trade isn't just an industry, it's a community, preserved in display cases, shared stories, and generations of craftsmanship passed from parent to child. This is where the world's appetite for beauty meets the heartbeat of rural Vietnam, quiet, enduring, and full of hidden light. In the heart of Hanoi, far from the mines and markets, Vietnam's gemstones find their final form, polished, set, and proudly displayed in cases of glass and light. Boutiques here blend traditional artistry with modern refinement, offering visitors a chance to take home not just a stone, but a story. Labels beside each piece whisper of their distant origins. Luc Yen sapphire, born in the misty hills of the north, where miners climb rugged trails before sunrise. Dak known garnet, pulled from deep southern soils, dark and rich with volcanic history. Kiwi Chow Spinel, cut from the heart of central Vietnam, where trade and tradition meet. Each name ties the jewel to a place, a people, a journey. These aren't just adornments, they are fragments of Vietnamese earth, shaped by hand, carried by culture, and made to last. The jewelers who present them are proud, not only of their craftsmanship, but of what these stones represent, a connection between rural origins and global admiration, between tradition and elegance. In these polished displays, the story of Vietnam's gemstones comes full circle, from riverbeds and rocky hillsides to velvet boxes and quiet gasps of wonder. As the sun climbs overhead, the heartbeat of Luc Yen begins to quiet. The frenzy of morning fades. Where hours ago the market buzzed with deals and hushed negotiations, now there is a gentle unraveling. Stalls are packed one by one, trays cleared, stones gathered, cloths folded with care. What remains is tucked away, unsold gems wrapped in silk, tucked into pockets, or slid back into worn leather pouches. The crowd thin. Familiar faces nod their goodbyes. A few final glances are exchanged, deals not made today, perhaps saved for tomorrow. It's a different kind of rhythm now, slower, thoughtful, almost meditative. For the miners and dealers, this is not an end, just a pause in a cycle that begins again at dawn. Even as the market empties, something lingers in the air. The weight of a shared purpose. The quiet pride of honest trade. The shimmer of stones still whispering their stories beneath folded cloth. Among the final footsteps of the day, a quiet promise walks between the stalls. A young girl, her hand tucked safely in her father's, gazes wide-eyed at the trays of sparkling stones. To her, they are more than minerals, they are treasure, magic, possibility. Her father smiles, not just at the moment, but at what it might mean. Maybe she'll follow in his footsteps, become a miner, rising before dawn to search the rivers and soil for color hidden beneath the surface. Or perhaps she'll take another path, a jeweler, a trader, or even a gemologist who speaks of inclusions and luster with a new generation's language. In this simple walk, between dusty stalls and folded umbrellas, the world of gemstones reveals its most enduring legacy, not in carats or cash, but in continuity. Because for every gem uncovered, every deal struck, every story told at this market, there is always someone watching, learning, dreaming, ready to carry it forward, one small hand in another. But with opportunity comes responsibility. Overmining, deforestation, and unsafe working conditions threaten these communities and ecosystems. Today, some cooperatives and non-profits are working to formalize operations, teach safer mining, and promote fair trade practices. Sustainable gem mining could be the key to preserving both livelihoods and Vietnam's precious landscapes. From jungle streams to mountaintop mines, Vietnam's sapphires, spinels, and garnets are more than just beautiful stones. They are a testament to endurance, skill, and the human connection to the earth. So the next time you see a gemstone sparkle, remember, it may have journeyed from deep within Vietnam's soil, through careful hands, to finally shine in yours.
Subscribe for more videos like this.